Nia goes off on Rhonda, Carmella is in love, and we have a girls' trip. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey! What's up, all my wrestling fans and not wrestling fans, my Total Divas fans, all my wrestling fans.
Yes.
I am your host, Leslie Colon, here as always, and we have a new person joining us, so I'm so excited. Go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Hey guys, it's Ollie Drennan. I'm super excited. I've been a fan of Total Divas for since season 1, but I'm a Divas fan at heart. I love the women's wrestling. Screw the guys wrestling. I watch for the women. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're all about.
Super
here.
excited to be here with y'all.
Good. We're happy to have you. And another fan, of course, with us.
Hey guys, how are you? It's Jennifer. I'm back and I'm so excited to talk about this episode.
All right, well, we have a lot to talk about, but for all of you guys who are just joining us, we have a special segment, Shadiest Moment. We have news and gossip for you guys, and we're about to break down everything. So what are your overall thoughts on this episode, Jen?
Crazy, insane. It was like such a wild ride tonight.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised with a lot of the things that happened tonight with Nia and and Carmela and Corey, but we'll get into that in just a second. For sure.
What about you, Ollie?
I'm definitely liking this season because at first when the cast was first announced, I wasn't sure because obviously the Bellas aren't here, right? They're doing their own thing with Total Bellas. Okay, good girls. I miss them, but it just feels different. But I actually really enjoyed kind of how this cast is kind of like working together, and like it's so interesting, and I love that. Obviously, this is a cast that hasn't been really like showcased, this year too much. So some people, like, you can argue, like Carmella, with 24/7, whatever. But like it's nice.
Watch your wrestling.
I'm like seeing Nia again. I'm like, oh, I miss Nia so much. Tamina probably misses her too. But I really. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to just say this. Why isn't Liv Morgan on the show?
Yes, I agree.
Seriously.
I love my Liv Morgan.
I love her.
Pink hair. She is such good television. Like,
she is.
All I want. Predictions.
Yes.
Liv Morgan. Anyway. But I love this episode. So good.
I think overall, like this season, I'm really glad that they're including other divas in the show. I feel like we're seeing a lot of different faces, and the dynamic is very different. I feel like normally we see like the Bellas kind of being in charge, and kind of like those divas who have been here for a while and who have done the show, and you can say veterans, but it's kind of different now. We see new faces, new people, new experiences, and we definitely have new feuds.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh my gosh.
And new like heels. So Nia's definitely on that heel side,
right? And
she's going after Rhonda. What do you guys think about that little thing and how she got mad at her for pretty much saying, like, she was just the thing about. Like, I was a little bit frustrated because it's she's giving her promo. This is what wrestling is about. You have to get the people, wild up. You have to make sure that the people believe what you're saying. And, that's your job. And Nia, you're a wrestler. That's what you do. So I don't understand why she's making such a big deal about this. Yes, I think Rhonda and a lot of wrestlers do this where they take it to a whole other level and they do it on their social media and then take it outside of the ring. But it makes the story more like interesting and people believe it. So I was a little bit annoyed and was like, okay, Nia, you're just getting annoyed with everyone and you're going after everyone. So I didn't like it, but what do you guys think?
Right, exactly. I feel like she thinks that everyone is coming for her.
Yeah.
And she's always saying that this person's always ruining the women's wrestling, the people that fought for you. And I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm such a big fan of Nia because she's so different. She's so different from all the divas there.
Right.
But right now, just her attitude is just making me, distance myself from her.
Right.
I'm just not feeling her at the moment. So I'm just over her victimhood, to be honest.
I know. Well, one of the things that Nattie mentioned is that it's not like her, and Naomi mentioned it as well, that she's acting a little bit strange. Ollie, do you think that that's something that's playing in? Maybe she's in her head too much about her wrestling skills or not being on TV, or what do you think is going on with her?
Yeah, first of all, I will say that it's nice that Rhonda is added to the cast because it definitely gives me a new perspective of me not necessarily, like, I respect Rhonda and everything that she does, but I wasn't a true fan of her until, like, kind of like, oh, wow, Rhonda's actually, like, a very humble, down-to-earth person through the show. However, I'm going to defend Nia just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because I think she is a little bit, like, overreacting. But if I were to put myself into her shoes, I guess I can understand where she's coming from, kind of being a little upset. Maybe she's not getting that push she wants. She feels like her and a lot of the other female superstars are being overshadowed by the entity that is Ronda Rousey. Right. Because she is a household name in comparison to all of them. Almost all of them, maybe except Becky, But so I guess I can understand, because I feel like Nia's just isn't being completely selfish. I think she's kind of thinking about the other women as well that aren't being utilized. Yeah. So maybe that's just I don't know. Yeah, I see both sides.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then also for you guys in the chat, let us know what you think, whether you are Team Nia or not Team Nia or Team Ronda. But there's definitely a lot that's going to go on in this episode. And speaking of Ronda, she actually goes home and it kind of gets to her. Especially with Nia, because she says that she loves to work with Nia. So it was really surprising to see how emotional she was over this little feud that happened. Because it was kind of like Nia just went seriously. And then she just walked away, not really giving an explanation on what happened. So I understand why Ronda was confused and was a little heartbroken in the fact that I think Nia made it seem like Ronda was breaking the women's division and really what they represent, but I feel like it's the opposite. Ronda really stands for women empowerment, and even before coming to WWE, she's done a lot of changes within just women and representing them as well. So I understand why it kind of got to her, especially I think we have to remember that she is coming into a new company. Right. She is still the new girl, so I don't know. I feel for her.
Yeah, no, I like that you say that, because you kind of have to also put yourself then into Ronda's shoes as to she's the new girl, new superstar. Mm-hmm. She might be more afraid of everyone than all of us are afraid of her, and what she has to bring. Because everyone knows each other. Ronda knows Nattie, Ronda knows Ruby. But it's still kind of she might not feel all at home.
Just my thing with Nia,
despite her push. Sorry.
Exactly. I just think that my thing with Nia is that she's always been so supportive of all of them. Of all the wrestlers. When she came in, she didn't know a lot of them, but she just came in and she just wanted to be supported by them, and she was supported to them as well too. So it's I don't understand why she can't be like that now. I don't like you said, maybe it's that she's not getting pushed enough and stuff, but she's just so insecure. At least for me, that's what I'm seeing. I feel a lot of insecurity so coming from her part. But I mean, I'm hoping this just goes away and it's just a little phase that she's going through.
Well, she did mention it had to do with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is around the corner. That's when everyone starts to get into their head oh, am I gonna have a match? Am I not gonna have a match? Then everyone starts to question whether they're good enough, whether they're not, who gets booked and who doesn't. So it makes sense why she's kind of feeling it in regards to Ronda getting the spotlight. But again, it all goes with the storylines. She was tag teaming during that time, so it kind of made sense for her to go down that route.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't think she really considered where she was with the company at that moment, and was kind of just going after everyone who was trying to really make it for themselves. That's really what all women are trying to do right now in WWE, trying to find their own path, because yes, you have women like Ronda Rousey right now, like Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Bayley, who are up there and have their names and kind of take over the spotlight. So I feel like for Nia, if she was in that position right now, she would still be feeling that way. And it just makes sense. Unfortunately, that's just how the business works, and you have to understand that. So I don't know.
At least you have a Total Diva spot.
Yeah, exactly.
We do.
See?
We do.
Yeah,
more
exactly.
publicity,
right?
You get your name. We're talking about them right now.
Right. Exactly. So, and right now she's not even wrestling, and she's still being promoted. Her name is out there. We're still talking about her, so I don't think she has much to say.
Just real quick, the chat, Gabby McCoy says, I can see both sides, and Joseph Bosa says, I wonder if the stress of the rumors of Ronda leaving after Mania got to her. Vince put the rocket strap on Ronda. A lot of things happened to the women that might not happen without Ronda. So that's pretty interesting. So
well, speaking of Ronda leaving, we do kind of see a little bit of her talking about that, and a lot of us, who do follow Ronda Rousey, she's kind of been planning on this, her life after,
WWE.
Not just WWE, UFC, fighting and everything. After sports. After all that happened with her, where she kind of went down, she kind of talked about what is next. And then I think now she's realized that her family, she talks a lot about having kids. So it's really surprising to me that she says pregnant so many times. I'm it's surprising, because a lot of the the women avoid that word and avoid that topic and everything, because yeah, it takes a lot out of their career, especially if you're up here. You would think that would not want to get pregnant. So it's really interesting to see, like, she's moving on, and she went to Vegas to go look at that clothing line. Ollie, what do you think about, like, her journey now trying to get over this, like, whole sports thing?
I think she's definitely smart as to kind of, like, thinking about the bigger picture after WWE. Obviously, like you said, she wants her family, but she also wants to build a business, a brand. I mean, she's a household name, so it's just kind of, like, not that difficult for her to do. But yeah, still, you want to be, if you're going to build that brand, make sure that she keeps saying in the episode that she wants to make sure that it's something that she's completely passionate about. So I totally, like, respect her, her drive and, everything. Like, no, I'm not going to just make a line. I want to make a line that I'm passionate about and that I'm 100%, 110% completely in. And I was like, work. Work, girl. And it's cool that she's doing that with her husband.
Yeah,
and he's so like gung-ho about it too.
I know.
So happy.
Jen, I was gonna ask you, I know you're all about relationships and wrestling, so what do you think about their relationship?
I love their relationship. I like how very supportive he is of her. He tells her, whatever you want to do, I'm right behind you. It's just something that we can possibly do together to hang out. And she even looks at it, she even said it herself, she doesn't care about the money. It's just something that they can do together to start that family that they really, really want. So I really enjoy that he's very supportive, and he doesn't just want to make her any deal because he knows how she is. He's trying to make her a right deal, but just for them to just kind of live together and be together all the time, because she's always traveling and working. So
and I think it's important to also keep in mind that just because you're gonna have a family, that doesn't mean that you're gonna stop wrestling,
right?
Or like, look what Brie did. Brie came back.
Exactly.
Maria Kanellis, she's pregnant now. But why? It's like, I'm sorry, I'm referencing Cardi B, but Cardi B, when she was always getting, like, downplayed for having her child, she always said, why can't I have both?
Peak of her career, too.
Right. Why can't I have both?
And not just that, Rhonda mentioned something really important that I don't think people really realize, is that you never retire from WWE. Right. It doesn't matter how many years you stop wrestling or stop connecting yourself with the company. If you did something huge, you're going to be recognized at the Hall of Fame. Yeah. You're going to be used as even just for commercials or anything like that. Best believe that Ronda Rousey is going to be used for big things like that. Even if it's just like the game, the WWE 2K21 now, or I don't know where it's at now, but I don't play video games. But so best believe that Ronda Rousey is a name that you can use to connect with WWE, where it can definitely bring money to the company.
Right, absolutely.
Yes. And money to herself. So I think they'll both get the best of both worlds. And I just love the fact that it's a balance. That in their relationship, they can still work, but be good with one another. And I think it's really cool to see that, because we see a really, like, hard side from Ronda Rousey and the character that she plays. But she's really down to earth. And like you had mentioned, I think that's the side that I didn't even think, like, I mean, she lives in a farm. Yeah. I didn't even know that she did that. Yeah. She loves her donkey.
Yeah.
So
it's very cute. It's endearing.
It's interesting to see that side of her.
Right.
So, yeah, it was really cool. But speaking of relationships, there is one relationship that is going through a lot right now. Jen, this is your favorite relationship so far. You are so in love with this.
I do.
So, Corey and Carmella go to Connecticut for the first time.
And they're not Corey and Carmella, they're Carmella. See? Didn't know. Thank you.
This is how you know she's been following this relationship really well.
Carmella, I'm done.
They are. That's what they're naming them. They're naming them Carmella. So.
Well, Carmella is all excited because she's going to go to Connecticut for the first time. You know, that's where Corey lives, and that's where I think he grew up there. That's where his house is at least. And, you know, she wants to stay in the house because after the whole homewrecker situation, it's not been cute. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm with her. You know, it's scary. You know, it's scary to go somewhere new where you don't know anybody and you don't know what's out there. So I could 100% understand her not wanting to go out, even though I was actually surprised that she was the one that didn't want to go out. I thought he would be the one not wanting to go out there. Yeah, I don't know why. I was really surprised that she just didn't want. I thought she was just gonna be like, I don't care, let me just get my stuff, like, let's go out. But no, he was really pushing and really wanting to hang out with her. Like, you know, if we want to start something, we need to get out of here. We can't be stuck in a room together 24/7. You know, we need to go out there and live life. Like, people are always gonna talk. So you know, I was kind of sad at the beginning, you know, that she was just not so happy, and so many things were going on while they were going out, and it sucked, but I'm glad that at the end she was able to, just be like, F it, I'm just gonna do this. Like, we are in a relationship, and who cares? And I love that she was telling people at the bar, like,
I know.
We're together.
That was definitely cute. Ollie, I want to know, what is your perspective of Corey Graves?
Oh my gosh. Well, for one, Corey, stop coming for my girl Sasha. Calm down.
Oh yes.
He is so with he always comes for Sasha.
I know.
Sasha, don't play with the boss. But Corey is so sexy. I'm sorry. Even when he was
so cute.
when he was in NXT, when he was an active wrestler, I had the biggest crush on him. So I understand where Carmella's coming from. Like,
oh
okay,
my God.
I'm sorry. I support Carmella. But the only thing that I'm upset about a little bit is that, like, I feel like this is just going to be Carmella's storyline for the entire season. Like, I want to know more about Carmella and her head.
Yeah.
And
I do too.
It's cool to see. I think she can rock blonde or the brown red. Like,
I like the brown red more than the blonde.
Yeah. It's so. But also, I was going to say something else. But I do feel for Carmella, because I feel like in this predicament, despite it she's not a homewrecker.
Yeah.
But still, like, it's always going to be like. It's always going to be more her fault than Corey's. And it's so frustrating.
Well, that's the thing that I was going to point out. The fact that he's kind of been, like, emotionless in this whole situation. Yeah. He's kind of been like, whatever, get over it. And I don't think he really realizes how much it affects her. She has emotions. You can tell that Carmella is very sentimental, and it really affects her. So I think, personally, I don't like the way he's being with her.
Right.
And the way he's kind of like, whatever, just ignore it. It's not that easy.
She's a public figure, too. We see her every day. She's on camera every day. So, of course, it's going to affect her. Of course, he doesn't see it as much. He's kind of more like behind the scenes, more in the back. So, it doesn't affect him. But you're right. We talked about it too last week. It was just kind of, it's one of those things that is very humiliating for a woman to be called a homewrecker, and people looking at you and, pointing at you and not being able to say anything at the moment, So I was kind of turned off by that he just didn't quite say anything. I was like looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, let's just move on.
Yeah, because it's easy for him because he's not the one being called. It's funny, like, why isn't anyone calling out him if that was the case? Like, if they were, like, having the affair, which they weren't, you know. So he's not facing as much backlash as Carmella is because she's a woman, and it's. Now that you say that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, Corey should, like,
think about it. Think about it. Think about the way he's being, because that's literally all I see. She's all lovey-dovey and stuff, but I'm like, dude, I feel like she's showing more emotion than he is. I don't know if it's like, all right, I'm a guy, whatever, I'm not gonna show emotion, and that's just his character. He's like weirded out because of the cameras, but that's why I'm like, I always roll my eyes when she's always like, oh my God, and he's like.
I feel like a lot of the dudes on this show are just generally more so
No, you look at a perfect example who we saw today, Trinity and John. They're like the best couple ever. I guess, yes, it's different. All couples are obviously different, but he's always been there for her, and they've had problems in regards to his baby mama and all that, and he's always been there to like kind of see both sides, but also respect the fact that Trinity wants to be involved and wants to do good for the kids. Right. So I don't think he's doing like the right thing when it comes to this whole situation. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, he should be concerned because, one, you have to kind of co-parent with your baby mama, and so you have to have a good relationship with both. So do you really think he loves her?
Wait, Corey loves Carmella. Well, to be perfectly honest, I do ship them with Jen. However, I think they have a lot of like work to do, like as a couple for sure. Yeah. I don't think they're in love. I think they're kind of in that new stage of like, you're just like so infatuated with the person. Right. So that's my take.
But I see that more with Carmella. I don't see
because she keeps talking about
and not only that, but I think for Corey this is also new. I mean, he is in the camera, but he's not showing his personal life and all that there. So I think for him this is a little bit different because it is focusing on his family, and he does have kids. And Carmella always mentions that too. There are kids in the middle. I kind of just want this to go away. So I think he does. He just right now he's just kind of like, the storyline is just so crazy to him, so he's just kind of like, what do I say not to say the wrong thing?
I just want to know how he dealt with it after his ex-wife posted it, if he even talked to her about it. because obviously we saw on the show that he kind of just like blew it off with Carmella, and she was like taking it, you know, really personal, and because she can't even go to the grocery store, she mentioned that, without being called a homewrecker. They can't even go on a date or anything like that. So I get her point of view. So I don't know, it's just a little messy.
She's like, I can't go out, I look terrible. I'm like, you look amazing. What are you talking about? No makeup, she still looks amazing with her hair wrapped. I'm like, girl, you look amazing.
She's such a Jersey girl, you can tell.
I love it.
so bad.
I know, but anyways, let us know also in the chat what you think. Are you team Carmella? Are you not? Are you for this? What is their relationship thing called?
Carmella.
I'm
all for it.
Hashtag Carmella.
Hashtag Carmella. Thank you.
And for all of you guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. We are here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. So don't forget to join us. Like, subscribe. We are the ESPN of TV Talk. And let your friends know about this show. And give us 5 stars on iTunes. And we're here.
Yeah.
Join us. Spill the tea. We have a lot of shady moments as well. So
Oh my gosh.
you guys, we have a surprise for you as well. Our shady moment got a little bit different today. So
It sure did.
stay tuned.
All we gotta say is it's gonna be iconic.
Exactly. Oh, God. You're supposed to do it with him.
Oh, wait. For iTunes listeners, Jen and I are gonna do the Iconics pose.
Yeah.
Ready?
How do you do it?
It's like this.
Oh, okay.
And
But
look
you look that way.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Iconic.
There you go. I love it. All
job.
right. Well, speaking of Iconics, we got on this girl trip for the Iconics because, you know, they're homesick. The Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, are from Australia. And Trinity wants to do something nice for them because, of course, Trinity is so nice. I love Trinity. She's literally, like, one of my favorite ones. And
I miss her too. Like, where's my Naomi?
I know.
God,
She
yeah.
hasn't even wrestled, so we'll see. But anyways, what do you guys think overall about this girls' trip? What was your favorite moment?
God. I'm sorry, I have to say to you, I live for Liv. Like,
Yeah.
she is wild. I don't know why she's not casted. She brings so much. It's so funny seeing her and like Naomi and how like they're
Yeah.
friends, yet they're so completely different. And then you throw Nia up in there, and then the juxtaposition with the Iconics. They're so mellow at this
my
point.
know.
And then Charlie's there, just kind of just there. Like, it was so wild. And then
It was such a crazy
such
night.
good television
I
though.
love it.
Oh, for sure. I think to me it was surprising the fact that the Iconics don't drink. Their character on TV is very out there. They're very crazy and everything like that. They talk a lot, but I feel like in this episode we kind of see that they're not like that. They're very chill. They kind of just do their own thing. And Peyton Royce and Billie Kay have always been together since day one. So you kind of see them stick together. And I feel
Yeah.
like they felt uncomfortable throughout all this.
You can see the uncomfortableness.
Yeah, and
Far away.
I did feel for them a little bit. I felt like Trinity could have done maybe something different. Like we saw in previous trips, like Nikki Bella has done like the whole journal thing or something little like that where they can bond, maybe like a spa day or something where it can be a little bit more inclusive. But I did think it was hilarious when they got the wrong flags. That was like one of my favorite moments.
You had one job. Was
Yes,
that whose
dude.
fault? That was
I didn't
Liv's
live,
fault.
yeah.
God. Such good
Yeah.
television. Come on, producers.
That was so much fun.
Seriously, the producer should have cashed out.
Come on. Oh, no, they did, but they're like, nope, we're going to let that
Yeah,
play out.
probably.
that was
That
very
was
good.
From there,
I
it was
know.
all downhill. But yeah, it's cool to even just see like this a quick little episode featuring the Iconics,
Yeah.
Billie and Peyton, and to see them like, oh, that's just how they are really. We had their characters are so outlandish, and it just goes to show that like they seem kind of introverted with the rest of the people. Also, I
Yeah.
think maybe the culture shock of them being Australian, throw that on there. So it's just it's just an interesting like social experiment, you know?
I'm thinking if they're gonna be doing that throughout the season, like featuring little moments with
Probably.
each wrestler and stuff, and giving all the divas like a little chance to have like a little, little thing in their like a little tiny storyline at least in there. That would be awesome.
But I also think that's also them kind of like experimenting. Okay, let's see, like for future seasons, maybe like how this girl or how this superstar is going to play
Yeah.
out
That's
a good
with,
point.
you know.
I would definitely love to see Liv Morgan on the show.
Yes.
I think she would. And maybe,
She needs to come back.
well, the Iconics are so out there. I would like to see a little bit more of them as well. I know we're very to themselves this episode. So I don't know. I feel
But I think that could be fun. I think
they have more to offer. Yeah.
For
I know
sure.
they're very about family and their culture and everything like that. So I think it would bring a little bit of a twist to Total Divas that maybe we don't have.
Yeah.
So
and sorry.
No,
just,
go ahead.
I was gonna. Last thing is just that the cast seems kind of small this season.
Right.
So like, why not put another couple more girls? Like at least 2 more. Like I feel like there's room.
I think the thing that's frustrating for me is like we have so many girls that we can showcase. Why not? You know, why keep it to a small cast when we can just showcase? The locker room isn't that big.
Yeah, especially when only 4 girls are being used. Like literally at this point, like 4 girls are being used, so that gives more time for girls to be on Total Divas and to share their stories and you know possibly push them into future storylines.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of people start watching WWE and their matches because of the show. So I think it's better, you know, to showcase a lot of the wrestlers instead of just like, you know, the same ones over and over again. But like new faces, I think brings a lot to this show. But there was one person who was not really happy throughout this trip, and it was Nia, because she kept talking about Ronda Rousey. I was just kind of over it at this point. I did not like it. I don't know. Nia needs to chill.
Yeah, I think she does too. I think she just needs to, you know, like she said, I think she was just stressed about all the stuff going on with her, but it's just, you don't need to take it out on other people, you know, especially Rhonda, because Rhonda has been like her biggest supporter ever. You know, even Rhonda was really surprised that she came at her like that. She was like, what the hell is going on? You know, I didn't do anything. So it's just, she does just need to take a chill pill and, you know, just
the alcohol brings out your inner frustrations, the liquid courage. You say things you don't. Well, maybe she means, maybe she doesn't. Who knows? You know?
I think she did mean it.
She did mean it or didn't mean it?
No, she did.
Oh.
I don't think Nia is the type of person to hide things. She's very direct.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think she was like.
And like I said, yeah, I understand where her frustrations are coming from, despite the way she's acting about them, you know.
Right. And to me, it's like, I wonder if this is gonna be her storyline like for the rest of the season.
Yeah, because it's just negative Nia, which would be kind of frustrating.
Hashtag negative Nia. There you go.
Which, like,
it would be so frustrating because, you know, we've seen her, like, she's always so happy and so much fun. I mean, we saw her tonight. She could be such a fun
I'll drink
girl.
anything.
Right.
Like,
and she was, you know, Trinity, everybody was having such a good time with her without her complaining. But then she quickly kind of kills it by going back to the same topic over and over. And it's like, okay, we get it.
I was mostly dumbfounded by when she threw the plate on the ground. I'm like, who's it? Somebody clean up this glass. Girl, someone's getting cut.
Who's going to pay for this?
We don't need injuries.
Well, we saw a lot of craziness in this girls' trip. I think overall it was a success. I feel like the girls had fun. We saw a little bit more of like the Iconics, and I think we saw a little bit more of different personalities. We saw a little bit more of Liv. We saw really how Nia was feeling and her admitting that she wasn't feeling good because of her place in WWE. Right. And then Trinity was a little bit more stressed out, but she finally like let loose a little bit. Charlie living wild, then throwing up. But overall, I think this girls trip and this whole episode was pretty cool. Right. I think it was so very entertaining.
Yeah, and like I'm sure they could cover the bills of any damages done to the rental.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, y'all got the money.
Exactly.
The budget.
All right. Well, let's start with some shade. Are you guys ready for our special segment?
Oh,
so
yes.
excited.
All right. Well, for those of you who are just starting with us, our special segment is Shadiest Moment.
Yeah.
All right. Ollie, what was your shadiest moment?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I mean, I have to say when homegirl called Carmella a homewrecker just randomly, that was so shady.
Oh my God,
and unexpected. And also the other one who was like, I'm with the local paper. Can I take a picture? No, go away. Shady people. I know your intentions.
Yeah. Right.
Those are mine too.
I think for me it was when Nia went up to Rhonda and told her right after the match, you're being so disrespectful, and just walked away without letting Rhonda talk to her. She was just like walking away and almost pushed her too. Yeah. I was like, what is going on with you? Like, I'm over you. But,
you do not want to be pushed by Nia.
Right? I don't, but you know.
Or punched in the face.
Exactly. Well, not even by Rhonda either.
Both.
But,
you know,
I wonder who would win in the match.
What about you?
I think we've seen that already. Well, but for me, it was actually in the beginning of the episode when we see those videos of Rhonda and her kind of calling out Nia and be like, oh yeah, I think Tamina misses you too. Like she kind of called her out on her wrestling skills. Like, oh yeah, it was not cute. So yeah, that was that for shadiest moment. But that is not it for our special segment. We have a lot of shady moments from Twitter. Ready?
Yes.
So many.
We do. All right. Okay. So the first tweet that I have, and if you're listening on the podcast, we're looking up some shady tweets that you guys put out there, the fans. And this one is by El Lagusi's Death. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. And here she says, Nia talking about Rhonda on tonight's episode. Hashtag Total Divas. Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. That's okay. Oh. All right.
Very good.
I know, that was so hilarious. The next one is Giandra LaBeouf, and she says, this is so stupid. A bunch of grown-ass women tearing up a rental. How old are you again? Hashtag Total Divas.
See, I love her because she was direct, just like Nia.
Honest, yeah.
I mean, it's true, but I mean, I kind of want to have fun too. So, I mean, I've done it with friends too. I go out and you tear up the hotel rooms and you're like, oh, okay.
I mean, I'll tear it up, but I won't pay for it.
Exactly. I mean, this is for a show, so.
And Nia's like, I'll pay for it, don't worry. I'm
exactly.
like, okay, girl. Go ahead. Is it my turn?
Yes, Ollie.
well,
go
I
ahead
have
and
to
go for it.
Yeah, Mela is money. Okay, so I gotta get a Carmella tweet, and she was responding to some tweets. Carmella, not real. One of the fan accounts said, Carmella is so cute trying not to leave the house, and it's a little gif of her. But then Carmella responds, she says, I don't like interacting with humans if I don't have to. Hashtag Total Divas.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, girl.
There are those days that you don't want to interact with anybody.
Yeah.
Agree.
And like haters, just let them hate.
Yes.
Especially like being in the spotlight every day. Like
People are just hating like when you're not doing anything.
Exactly.
Right.
So
I feel her on that one.
And last but
our favorite.
certainly not least, I have to get, this is tweeted by the official Total Divas account, okay, on Twitter.
Too.
And this is a gif of Liv with her mouth wide open, and it says, this is why we can't have nice things. At You'll Only Live Once, which is Liv's Twitter account. Hashtag Total Divas.
I love it.
that.
Please go check this out. It's priceless. Liv, cast her on next season, please.
Please.
Yes.
I miss her so
I think
much.
that was my favorite.
That was so good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now let's get to it with our news.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is so exciting. So, if you guys don't know, Ronda Rousey has been a regular cast member on Fox 911. And last night, she had an episode in where she absolutely destroyed, according to TMZ, absolutely destroyed her real life husband, Travis Brown, in an underground fight club on Monday. It was a scene, and if we see up on the screen, if you're listening, we're looking at some pictures on the screen up here, and we see Rhonda and Travis fighting along, and it's insane because the whole scene, I saw a clip of the scene, and it's just them fighting, and she is literally kicking his ass. So that was pretty awesome to see.
Wow.
So,
True love.
And he's such a heavy, tall man, bigger than her. We've seen it.
Yeah.
And she is literally tearing his ass up. So it was funny, but it was a good scene.
He
So,
can take it.
yeah.
Or
So
maybe not,
yeah,
it's
super
Rhonda.
excited to see her on the screen. I mean, there is nothing she can't do. She can
Right,
act,
of course.
wrestle, have an
Always-
apparel clothing line now.
Yeah.
So I mean, what else?
Future, so we'll see what happens with her.
The sky's the limit for her for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all right.
Super exciting.
Is that it for
Yeah.
our news today?
That is it for
All
tonight.
right. Well, that was it for our news. Now let's get into our predictions.
And now,
I have.
your AfterBuzz
Get 'em
TV
ready.
predictions.
All right, Ollie, what is yours?
Okay. Well, I think there's going to be drama.
I mean, and this whole season, we know that.
Well, I'm excited because we're going to have Sonia back, because it's so funny when some of the girls, like, it's like, where's Sonia? Where's Nattie?
Right,
Well, Nattie
yeah.
was there. Anyways, so I think Sonia's going to have a lot of pressure with her girlfriend's mom. Because like they just got back together and they're house hunting,
Yeah.
so that's going to be a lot of like, okay, moving in general is just the worst thing ever. So I can't imagine how stressful that's going to be, especially if you're on the road like
Yeah.
for more than like what 90% of the year. And then Nia's injury. That's gonna be. I'm really excited to see where her headspace is gonna be, especially like this was months ago, obviously, and we're getting closer to WrestleMania, and I'm just excited to see or hear these stories that be fleshed out because a lot of the girls, didn't get spots. Some got more spots than others. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Judging by the teaser.
Jen?
Of course, for me, I'm just, I know you hate them or you don't like them as much.
It's not that I hate them. I just Carmella's being too much.
Well, Carmella, oh, I want to see how their relationship's going to be when they go back to work. Oh, okay. And, are they going to be showing it out there for everyone to see? Are they going to be very affectionate?
Yeah.
So, because we've seen many relationships in WWE.
Right.
So, I mean, now that she's a little bit more open to it and they both agree that they're okay now, I'm wondering if she's willing to take that to work now.
Yeah.
And see what everybody else has to say, too. So.
True. Well, I definitely believe that Nia is going to mellow down a little bit more after her injury. Obviously, these injuries get to these wrestlers' heads, so I think she's going to cool down a little bit more. And then with Sonya Deville, she's probably going to... I think they might have a fight. I feel like they're probably going to have a fight over this because it's a big deal. And then her mom is pressuring, and then the whole kids thing, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
I think there might be a fight in this next episode. So, yeah, we'll see. But that was it for this episode.
Yeah.
It was great to have you, Ollie. So now let the people know where they can find you. Hey,
guys, our divas out there.
Yeah.
We love our divas. I'm super excited to be here, by the way. You guys are awesome. I'm super excited. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at OllieDreamer.
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well at Jen_Lopez_89.
All right. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _Leslie Colon. And we will see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.